I always thought it would be cool if you could go back and listen to the day-to-day of today's highest achievers as it happened, as opposed to 30 years later after they've made it. I believe there's a giant disconnect between ground zero and the top floor because we only see the top floor and the top floor only talks about the top. You know, how valuable would that be? And so it goes without saying, but I believe I'll make it there. And this is the documented journey through each level. My name is Bryson Sessions, and you are listening to the Bed Podcast. All right, day 2, phase 3. It's past my bedtime. 6:50. Well, actually, we're on time right now, but yeah, no. So I still got to read today. I still got to upload the show, write about it, and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna. What the fuck was that? Not gonna go to bed on time, but I will at least get 6 hours of sleep, which is good. So yeah. Anyway, so it's day 2. Tomorrow's day 3, obviously, and I go to my full-time job tomorrow, which means I have to wake up at 2 so that I can go to the gym, be done, hopefully stretch, maybe have time to read, and then be to work by 5. So that means I got to go to bed. The idea is to be in bed at 6:30 so that by the time I do fall asleep, I get at least 7 hours, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. That's the goal. Didn't happen today, and it never, ever has. When I think back to phase 1, both go-arounds, I think I was just going to bed an hour and a half late every single time. But I don't know, man. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to force myself to make it happen. I mean, there's no way I'm failing this. Phase 3, like I didn't go 11 months to then just, bitch out. So, I mean, it's been tough. The talking to strangers thing, that's been the most difficult thing so far, I think. I mean, I know it's day 2, and yesterday was easy because, so when I'm working FedEx, it's so easy to just strike up conversation because there's a lot to talk about in context to, like, for example, I'm giving them a box, or I have a box and I'm walking by them, or I can say like, oh man, it's hot out here, or something like that. But when you're in a grocery store, which is what I did today, it's so weird for me to be like, yo, so is this good cheese? Do you know anything about cheese? It's so, I don't know. I'm in my head about it for sure. Because, so this is how today's went. I'm going to share this because I think it's funny. But I was by the yogurt, and there was a guy on a little wheelchair thingy just kind of hauling ass down the aisle. And I was going to be like, yo, excuse me, sir, you got a favorite yogurt, man? I'm not sure which one to go with, but it's so phony because I know exactly what yogurt I want. I just want to talk to somebody. And he kind of dodged the bullet, drove away, whatever. So I was like, fuck, dude. So I kind of roamed around the store for a little bit looking for somebody looking at something that I might want to buy so that I could talk to them about it. Anyway, fast forward, I'm in the line for checkout, and I was like, dude, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have to talk to the cashier because she's the last person I'm going to see for the rest of the day, and then I go home. So this person, I have to talk to this person. And sure as shit, I'm sitting there in line, and I look behind me, and it's that old guy, same guy, but it's his wife with him, and she's by the bread. And I'm like, okay, I know what bread I'm going to get, but let's see if this lady knows what's some good bread. Because I saw that she had some whole wheat shit in her cart, and I'm like, okay, we're on the same page. It's not going to be like she's looking for some white, Grandma Sycamore, and I'm over here looking at the healthy double fiber flaxseed shit, So I'm like, hey, excuse me, weird question. Do you got a favorite bread? That's literally what I said. And there's proof right there that I'm overthinking it because it's not weird to ask somebody a preference on bread and then to help you out with a choice. It's just so uncommon. It's not weird. It's so uncommon. Nobody does that. Nobody's ever asked me, hey, you got a favorite bread, brother? Nobody. So asked this lady, and that's the thing, man. So we had a conversation about bread, like texture, the seeds, the crunch, the whole wheat, what her husband likes, what I like, the smooth. And it's, part of me is like, oh, I didn't count. You just asked for bread. But we had a conversation. We talked about bread. We talked about the texture, what I just said. And so I was like, fuck it, man. All right, I guess we're calling that a dub. And I think what's most important, I'm not copping out by any means, but I think what's most important about all of this is that the intent is there, and that I'm not saying like, oh, how you doing? And they're like, good, how are you? And I'm like, good. And then I think, oh yeah, I talked to a stranger today. That doesn't count, right? So the intent is to have some sort of conversation, some kind of dialogue in there. And I wanted to make it a goal to get everybody's name that I did this for, but didn't get this lady's name. Maybe it was Linda. I don't know. She looked like a Linda, but whatever. So that's that. So anyway, yeah, phase 3 is going to be a bitch. I can already tell. I mean, the 2 days that I've done everything, or the 2 days that I've been on the program, I've had a day off, which was today. I was supposed to work today, but I guess I'm lucky to have a position where it's kind of like, hey, you want some more money, then work. If you don't, I don't give a fuck, kind of thing, which is washing trucks. So it's tough, man. There's a lot of things I'm paying attention to. A lot of things I gotta manage and make sure that I get done in the time that it needs to be done. And yeah, so I mean, nothing really new to report other than that. So I'm very tired, which is good because it's 7 o'clock, 7:04 p.m. Also, I want to point something out real quick. I always record the show seemingly right before I have to go to bed. Like right now, if I were to go to bed at normal time at 8:30, this would be a very, very early show for me because it's not right up against my bedtime. So it's just Parkinson's law right there, proof that the time in which you have to do something is usually how you... What's the fucking thing? The amount of time allotted for a certain task is filled to the duration of which the frame... I don't know. If you give yourself a year to do something, it's going to take you a year. If you give yourself an hour, it's going to take an hour. Same project for both things. That's the idea. So Parkinson's law. But there's proof right here. I'm sitting here, about to go to bed, but yet again, didn't do the podcast. And it's funny because I can do this whenever. I can do this in the car. I can, whatever. I don't have to sit down and have the mic. I say it in the intro and the outro every show. So whatever. But yeah, so that's the show. This isn't even part of my phase 3, the podcast at all. But this is something I committed to for 20 years. So we're going to see it through. But after I finish this and upload it, I still have maybe 30 ounces of water. So I'll get that done pretty quick. Probably piss the bed. It's all good. And then I have to read 10 pages. And then I'll be good to close the night out. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I just made this so hard for myself, right? Because I turned off social media, which is a good thing. It's not hard. It's a good thing. The only fluids I'm consuming are water, and that's it. There's no caffeine. There's no any other kind of drink. Nothing. Literally just water. That's it. I mean, if I mix protein powder in there, then it's the same thing. Whatever. But yeah, everything's just water. So no pre-workout because it has caffeine. No caffeine. No coffee. No juice. No water. Nothing like no water. I don't know what I was gonna say there. Yeah, so just water. And I talked about it yesterday, but yeah, I had just a gnarly headache from the caffeine withdrawals yesterday, and today I'm back to normal, which is good. So that's great. And then no food from restaurants or fast food places. And it's so funny because I was thinking about this. I was arguing against myself of why does that make sense, but I can get a sub sandwich that's just the shit they make with the cheap bread and the cheap cheese. It's got 2 pieces of cheese, 5 pieces of lunch meat and a sandwich. It's just some cheap shit from the gas station. Why is that allowed, but I can't go to a restaurant and get a salad? And I was arguing with myself. And the response that I gave myself was, don't try to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. That was like what I told myself. And it makes sense to me because I'm choosing to do things to restrict myself from things that are easy, or I guess not easy, that are more desired or that I associate with more freedom. I guess. I don't really know how to explain what I'm thinking. But like going to a restaurant, I associate that with like delicious food, a shit ton of dessert, whatever, friends, family all around. But when I go to a gas station and I get a cheap ass sandwich that's overpriced and not good at all, I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine because this is literally just bread, lunch meat, and cheese. And then I'm like, okay, so with that logic, why is it not allowed to get that same exact thing from a restaurant? It's the same thing, right? But then in my head, I'm like, nah, because I'm at a restaurant and I said no restaurant food. So it doesn't make sense, period. However, it's just forcing me to I guess it's helped me save money if you want to be fair, but it's just harder for me. And so therefore with that lens only, making it harder on myself, that right there is it. Like that's why I'm doing it. So there's a lot of things I got going on that are that way. I'm just trying to make it harder on myself. So because it's only 30 days, dude. It's only 30 days. And then after that, I have year 1 under my belt. We're done. So no sense in trying to go easy. I'm trying to really make this tough. I'm even in a caloric deficit right now, doing, cardio on both workouts. And probably less sleep overall, doing it with no caffeine, no energy drinks, nothing like that. No distractions from social media. I've got more things to worry about, like talking to a stranger and doing a random act of kindness, things like that. Like I'm just really just trying to make it as hard as possible. It's only 30 days. And then after that, dude, year 1, so I'm paying attention to every single thing, because there's a couple, I guess a week ago. How long ago was that? Let's see. Yeah, about a week ago today, actually. Damn, that I lost the streak of 225 grams of protein. So that was a 153-day streak, or 144-day streak. What? 146-day streak. 145-day streak that was lost because I logged something in MyFitnessPal, but then actually didn't eat it. So I went to bed thinking that what was logged is what I ate, but I forgot to eat some cottage cheese. So that sucks. But now I'm paying extra close attention to every single thing that I'm doing because I want to make sure that it's all done and I don't have to fail. Dude, I would have such a stomach ache if I failed phase 3. To think that I made it a full year and then just threw it all away because of a simple error, so I'm checking things off right now. Cheat meals, alcohol, 10 pages. Okay, so last thing I have to do for the whole day is just read 10 pages, which is easy. So I am sleepy, but I'm not so tired that I probably couldn't read. And also, one thing that I have noticed so far is that when I do read when it's later at night in my place now, it's different because I don't do any kind of work whatsoever in my bedroom. I don't read. I don't do anything in there. That's just for sleeping and other activities. So when I'm in my office here, it's just work. There's no bed right there to lay down and get comfortable on. If I want to, I have to kind of close up shop here, and by that I mean like stand up and walk out. But walk down the hallway, that's probably like 20 feet long, and then go lay on my bed. So it's like quite a process. Takes 5 seconds. So there's a little bit of a latency, so I can't just be like, oh man, fuck this, and just go lay on my bed. And I like that because when I'm in here, it's like my brain associates what I'm doing in here with work, and it's like, no, I can't fall asleep now. We got to work. We're not relaxing kind of thing. And I'm so hyped about that because that was one of the things that I had followed for a while, as far as people saying, don't work where you sleep. And then there's like the age old saying, like, don't shit where you sleep or don't shit where you eat, something like that, in a different context altogether. But anyway, so I think that's been beneficial for me because I'm reading $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozy, how to get strangers to want to buy your stuff. And I read a solid, I think it was 12 pages with ease, didn't fall asleep, nothing. And this was like right before bed. So that's a good thing for me. And so that's the show. Nothing else to report. I'm just looking forward to battling this last phase, and then just a lot of things I want to do, and it seems like there's just never enough time to do everything. I mean, like today I went to the gym, did 45 minutes of cardio. I went and walked around a park outside, went through some trails, 45 minutes. I had a gallon of water, or I'm about to. I went to the Farmington station. I went to the grocery store, got some shit. I talked with a random person. I did a random act of kindness today. And let's see. And then I'm about to read. Followed a diet all day. And I have been for a while now. Got 220, I think 240 or something grams of protein today. Took a progress photo. I took a cold shower. I took an ice bath. I recorded a podcast. I'm going to write about the podcast and upload it. I wrote about carb cycling for the nutrition plan for clients in the future. And I journaled about the random act of kindness that I did. I also stretched for 15 minutes, and I think that's my day. That's my day. And what's cool about that is it's a short day, because if I have to go to bed at 6:30, but I didn't wake up at 2, that's a full day, right? So 2 a.m. to 6 p.m., it's a full day. It's 16 hours for me. But I woke up, I think it was 8 or 9. So I did all of that. So this is where like the proof for my own self comes in. So I did all of that from, I think it was like 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. to now 7:14 p.m. I did all of that in 10 hours. So what's my problem? Hold on. What am I trying to say? When I have a day off, it seems like it's harder for me because I don't have the structure of going to work. But today I proved to myself that I can do every single thing on my list with a handicap of 5 hours. So in theory here, moving forward, every day off that I have, I should get all my stuff done with 5 hours to spare. That's literally what I proved to myself today. So if I don't, then it's just me lacking priorities and lacking time management. And it's nothing else. So it falls back on me. I mean, it always does, because it's my decisions, my choices, my responsibility, right? So anyway, that's that. So that's day 2. And it's kind of cool. It feels like it's already cruising, already done with 2 days. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's the show, guys. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, July 1st. Peace out. Oh, I guess, yeah, today's June 30th. Happy birthday, Lexi. 2024, 7:15 p.m. That's the show. Peace. Hey, thanks for listening. And quick reminder here. So this podcast doesn't prioritize professionalism or quality at all. It's just meant to be a shoot from the hip type podcast with the intent just to get a quick message out. So some episodes might be inaudible in 30 seconds and others might be 45 minutes and super crisp sounding. So all these are being made so that by episode 7,305, which is 20 years, we can come back and see the entire playbook of how I made it to wherever I'm going. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.